Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you how to make this little wreath granny square for Christmas. It's made with pretty much just double and single crochets and then the loopy stitch, but I'll go over with you and show you how to do it. So, and for this project, I use just regular Red Heart Super Saver, which is a worsted weight 4-ply acrylic, but any kind of yarn, any kind of 4-ply yarn is going to work. And then I'm using a size I, which is a 5.5mm crochet hook. And that made about, it's probably about a 5-inch square. Maybe 5.5 or so, but for probably about a 5-inch square. So if you want one bigger, you can use a bigger needle. If you want one smaller, you can use a smaller needle. But it should be pretty easy. So I'm going to start off with a slip knot on your hook and start with a chain of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now I'm going to slip stitch back in the first one to form a ring. And if you want to use the magic circle here, that's fine too. Okay, now I'm going to chain 1 and I'm going to work 12 double crochets through the center of the ring. So I'm going to yarn over and go right through the ring, drop a loop, and then do my double crochet. And I want to do that a total of 12 times. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then I want to, if you pull your tail, it'll usually make that center circle a little bit smaller. Now I'm going to slip stitch into this first one, and that'll close that round out. Just like that. Now, I like to tie off when I do color changes. If you want to slip stitch your new color through and start like that, you can. I always tie off when I start new colors. I think that it makes it cleaner looking. Or I can't make it very clean whenever I try not to snip off, but there. So I just went ahead and tied that collar off, and now I'm going to start the green wreath. Let me get my green down here. Okay. Now the wreath's going to be made with double loop stitch. I'll drop my camera. I got a little camera stand that my camera sits on. It's kind of wobbly. I need to get a new one. The double loop stitch, which isn't really hard, but what we want to do for that is we want to work it backwards. So you want to put where the good side is facing out, where the other side is, the side that's not so pretty is facing you, because the loops they're worked backwards. So you can start in any stitch that you want. Just go ahead and go into one and pull your yarn through. Kind of hold that tail there, and we can kind of work it in as we go, or we can sew it in later. But I'm going to start with the chain 1 just to start. Okay, I'm going to work 2 double loop stitches in every single stitch around. So how we do the double loop stitch is we take our finger and we wrap our yarn 1, 2 times, and you should see 3 little loops on your hook. Once you do that, you take your needle and you go through your first stitch, and then you go up over the top of this thread and then back under all 3 of them, like that. Pull it out a little bit till you get your loops as long as you want, and pull it through the stitch, like that. And then you can drop them, and you'll have 2 loops, and this is your long thread. Pick up this long thread, yarn over, and go through these 3 loops. I think it's 3. There'll be 4 loops because that's how we started on your hook. Go through all these loops on your hook. Just like that. And that's how you do the double loop. And you can see it makes 2 loops. So we'll go ahead and do it again. We want to do that 2 times in each stitch for this time around. So I'm going to go yarn, I'm going to wrap it around my finger. 1, 2, and you'll see you have 3 wraps. Go ahead and go into that same stitch again, since we're doing 2 in each stitch. Go over the top of this last one, and then underneath it, and underneath the other ones, like that. Now kind of pull it out, so it's about the same size as your last ones. Pull it through, like that. 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, and go through all 4. So now you'll have another 2 loops back there, so you'll have 4. Just like that. And I'm trying to hide this tail as I go, so if it's probably kind of annoying being there, but now I'm going to be moving to the next stitch, and I'm going to do the double loop in it twice, just like I did on this one. So I'm going to take my yarn and wrap it around my finger. 1, 2, and you can see the 3 wraps. Now I'm going to go into the next stitch. I'm going to go over the top of this and back under all 3 of these loops, all 3 that are on my hook. Pull it out a little bit, go through the stitch like that, and drop them, and pick up your long one, yarn over, and go through all 4 of these loops on your hook, just like that. And you can kind of pull it tight if you want, and now you'll have another set of loops. You don't have to worry about getting them the exact same size, because that's kind of hard. Now we'll do that again in the same stitch. So we're going to wrap 1, 2, go into that same stitch again, over the top, and then back under all 3 of them. Pull them out a little bit, go through the stitch, drop your loops, and then pick up your long tail, or your long one. Go through the 4 loops on your hook, and there you go. And that's what it starts to look like. Okay, now we're going to move to the next stitch, and we're going to put 2 double loops in this one. Take your finger, wrap, wrap, go into the next stitch, over the top, underneath, pull them out a little bit, go through your stitch, drop all your loops, and then pick up your big yarn, go through the 4 loops on, yarn over, and go through the 4 loops on your hook. And that's 1. Now you want to do it again in the same stitch. Wrap, wrap, through your stitch, over the top, underneath all of them, pull them out, pull them through, drop them all, pick up your long one, yarn over, and go through, and there you go. And you can cut this tail off whenever you get it sewed in, just like that. So I'm going to be working these double loop stitches, 2 in every single stitch all the way around. And when you get back around, you'll have a total of just want, you can see when you get back around, you can still see your stitches. See them? One. I know it's kind of dark, but it's still making stitches to go into. And when you get back around, you should have a total of 24 of these stitches, if you count them from the back way. Not these loopies, we won't count them, but these stitches that it makes. So go around and put 2 double loops in every stitch, and you should have a total of 24 when you get back all the way back around. Okay, once you make it all the way around, you should be able to count and see that you have 24 stitches. See, I put 2 in each one, so here's 2, 2, 2, 2, all the way around. And I do have 24, and you need to make sure you have 24. We gotta have correct number for it won't square off right whenever we get around to doing that. So go ahead and slip stitch into your first one. And we're going to go around again with another row of loop stitches. This time we're going to increase, we're going to put 1 double loop stitch, and the next stitch we'll put 2 double loop stitches. The next stitch we'll put 1, and then the next stitch we'll put 2. So we'll go ahead and start off. I'm going to start off by just chaining 1 right there where we just slip stitched. Now I'm going to go ahead and work 1 double loop stitch right here in the stitch that we just slip stitched into. And I'm sorry that the yarn is dark, but I'm going to go ahead and do my yarn over my finger, go in and do my loop stitch. Like that. Now I'm going to go jump to the next stitch, and I'm going to put 2 double loop stitches in that one. So I'm going to go in. So that's 1 double loop stitch. Now I'm going to do the same thing again in the same stitch. Like that. Now the next stitch, I'm going to put 1 double loop stitch in. And I know it's so hard to see. I apologize. But it's the same thing that we just did in the previous row, except we're just doing different numbers. So there's 1 double loop stitch in that one. Now I'm going to jump to the next one and put 2 double loop stitches in, 2 double loop stitches in it. But we're still making them the same way that we made them last round. So there's 1 double, go back into the same stitch and do another one. Like that. Now the next stitch is going to get 1 double loop stitch, and the next stitch will get 2. And you just repeat that all the way around, and you can see it makes your wreath a little bit thicker. So you want to do that all the way around, and when you get back around, you should have a total of 36 stitches at the end of this round. Okay, when you make it all the way around, and you can count these stitches back here, and you have 36, go ahead and slip stitch into your first one. And then I'm going to tie this color off. And I'm going to switch colors again. And you don't have to switch colors. You can do your square any colors that you want. But. And there I got my wreath part made. And you can see my loops are not the same size. So a real wreath wouldn't be perfect either. So, and that's what we have so far. So we're going to start working from the front side again. So I'm going to switch back to my white. And you see these stitches, that's what we're going to be going through, these back stitches here. So you can start any one that you want. I'm going to pull my yarn through, and I'm going to start off by chaining 1. Now I'm going to go back into this same stitch, and I'm going to put 2 double crochets. So there's 1 and 2. Now I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to go back to the same stitch again and put 2 more double crochets. What I'm doing is forming a corner of the granny square. just like that. So all in that same stitch was 2 double crochets, a chain 2, and 2 more doubles. Now I'm going to work 1 half double crochet in each of the next 8 stitches. So I'm going to do half doubles now. I'm going to yarn over and go in. Try to hide that tail as I go, but you can see these stitches back here. I'm just going to go into it. They're kind of cockeyed to the back a little bit. You can see there's kind of a bumpies here. The stitches are kind of in the back. Just grab one, and I'm going to do a half double crochet, 1 in each of the next 8. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now I'm going to form a corner again into the next stitch. So in the next stitch, I'm going to do 2 double crochets, doubles this time. 1, 2 in the same stitch, and then I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to go back in the same stitch again and do 2 more doubles. 1, 2. So now that's another corner we have. Now I'm going to work around again and put 1 half double crochet in each of the next 8 stitches. Half double. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now the next stitch, I'm going to form a corner again. I'm going to put 2 double crochets in it, 2 doubles, chain 2, and then 2 more doubles. 1, 2. So there's another corner. Again, 1 half double crochet in each of the next 8 stitches. Half doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then it's going to be a corner again in the next stitch. 2 double crochets, 1, 2, chain 2, and then 2 more doubles. Now if you counted right, you should have 8 stitches left to go ahead and put a half double crochet in each of them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There it is. Okay, now we're going to slip stitch into our first double crochet, and that closes that round off. Okay, now we're going to go around again, but this time it's going to be all double crochets. It's not going to be half doubles anymore. So I'm going to start by chaining 1 and going back into the same stitch and putting a double crochet, and then I'm going to double crochet into the next stitch, and then when I get to the corner, I'm going to do the corner the same way. Go right through it, 2 doubles, chain 2, and then 2 more doubles. 1, 2. Now I'm going to work my way around, putting 1 double crochet in every stitch. You want to make sure you get this guy right here. Sometimes these stitches go on top of him, but right there's your first one. And I'm going to put 1 double crochet in every stitch. Doubles, remember, we're not doing half doubles anymore, until I get to the next corner stitch. Just like that, and then when you get to the corner, you just do your corner again, 2 doubles, chain 2, and 2 more doubles, and then work way around again, putting 1 double crochet in every stitch until you get to the corner. So we're just going to repeat this all the way around till you get back to the beginning. Okay, when you make it back around, I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch into my first double crochet, and I'm going to tie this off. If you want to go around again and make it bigger, you're more than welcome. Just keep doing rows of double crochet around again, and then the corners are always the same. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead, and you don't have to do this, but I'm going to go around it with a row of red single crochet. Just make an edging on it. So you can start anywhere that you want. I'll just start in the corner. We're going to do kind of the same thing we did, only with single crochet. So I'm going to start out with the chain 1. Okay, in the corner I'm going to put 2 single crochets. 1, 2, and I'm going to chain 2, and then I'm going to go back and put 2 more single crochets. So just like the doubles, only we're doing it with singles. And then making sure you get this guy right here. Start here with the single crochet, and then 1 single in every stitch around, except for the corners. They get the 2 singles, chain 2, and 2 more singles. And again, you don't have to do this. I just like to, thought it looked a little bit more Christmassy. I don't know. Probably not. That corner, 2 singles, chain 2, and 2 more singles, all into the corner. Don't forget this guy that kind of hides. And you just continue this all the way around, and it puts that edge on it. Okay, when you make it all the way around, slip stitch into your first single crochet, tie that off, and you can be done if you want, or if you want to put a bow on it, you can. You can make a bow, or you could put little berries on it, or you know, whatever you wanted to do. You can use regular ribbon. You could like use hot glue. Works really good for yarn. Just make sure that you use a low heat hot glue gun. You can use regular ribbon and tie a bow on here, or you can just tie one with 1 strand of yarn and glue it on, or you can use your yarn needle and sew it on like that. Little silver beads or whatever to decorate it. I guess it's endless of what you can do. On mine, I made a chain of like 30 or 35 or something. I'll go ahead and do it. And then I just single crocheted in the second stitch from the hook like that, and then I just put 1 single crochet in every stitch for the length of my chain. I mean, you can make your beginning chain as long as you want your ribbon to be. Like I said, you can do it. You don't have to do the ribbon like I did it. However you want to do it. And to show you real quick though. And I just went all the way down. And I just made one row of one long piece of crochet with just single crochet row. Like that. And then I kind of just started off with, left on kind of a little bit of a longer tail on it. And then I just kind of worked with it and made it bow shaped. This one's a little shorter than my other one, but it's a lot shorter, I guess. Made a smaller bow. And then I just took a piece of yarn and wrap the center with a straight piece of yarn. If you know how to make a different bow, you do it however. If I would have had a ribbon, like a small ribbon, I probably would have used that. But then I gotta have to hide these tails, but then I just took a piece of yarn and tied a knot around the center, really tight. Need to get rid of some of these tails, I guess, so you can see better. Kind of like that. My other one was a lot longer. I started with a lot longer of a chain. I think it was like 30 or 35. This one I just did a sample to show you, but I just wrap it kind of tight. And then I used hot glue to tie mine on, or to put mine on. Low heat hot glue. But you can sew it too if you wanted to. So, but kind of like that, or however you want to do it. That's it. That's all there is to it. If you make this or anything else, I'd really like to see a picture of it. You can post a picture on my Bagoday Crochet Facebook page. I'll put a link to that below in the description box. And please don't forget to check out all my other tutorials. And until next time, have a good day.